Welcome to Spelling Bee Ninja, where we believe that learning should be engaging and accessible to everyone. We invite you to subscribe for free educational content designed to inspire and educate. Our mission is to promote a community of lifelong learners who are curious about the world around them. In today's episode, we are diving into the fascinating topic of perimeter, an essential concept in mathematics that helps us measure the boundaries of shapes and objects. So, let's get started and unlock the wonders of perimeter together. So, what exactly is perimeter? In geometry, perimeter refers to the total distance around the outside of a two-dimensional shape. You can think of it as the length of a fence needed to enclose a yard or the distance you would walk if you were going around the edge of a park. The concept of perimeter has been around since ancient times, as people needed to measure land boundaries for farming and homes. Interestingly, the term perimeter comes from the Greek words peri, meaning around, and metron, which means to measure, literally translating to measure around. This lays the foundation for understanding why perimeter is a crucial skill in math and real life. Let's start with some shapes and see how we can calculate their perimeters. And first, let's consider a rectangle. Rectangles are one of the most common shapes we come across in our daily lives. To calculate the perimeter of a rectangle, we add up the lengths of all four sides. However, because a rectangle has opposite sides that are equal, we can simplify this by using the formula P equals 2 times the length plus the width. For example, if we have a rectangle with a length of 8 cm and a width of 5 cm, we can find its perimeter by calculating 2 times 8 plus 5, which gives us 2 times 13, equaling 26 centimeters. How practical is that? This formula isn't just for school projects, it's also handy in everyday situations, like figuring out how much baseboard you need for a room or how much fencing you'll require for a rectangular garden. And next, let's talk about squares. A square is another familiar shape that many of you may easily recognize. Since all four sides of a square are equal, we can calculate its perimeter using a super simple formula P equals 4 times the side length. For instance, if each side of our square measures 7 centimeters, we multiply 4 by 7, giving us a perimeter of 28 centimeters. Now, why is this useful? This formula finds applications in various areas, from determining the amount of trim needed for a square window to planning the border for a square garden. Fun fact for you, a square is the most efficient shape for maximizing area given a certain perimeter, which is why square packaging is common in industries. And now, let's move on to triangles. The perimeter of a triangle is calculated by summing the lengths of all three sides. We can express this using the formula P equals A plus B plus C. For example, if a triangle has sides measuring 5 centimeters, 7 centimeters, and 9 centimeters, we calculate 5 plus 7 plus 9 to get a perimeter of 21 centimeters. This formula works regardless of the type of triangle, be it scalene, isosceles, or equilateral. In fact, for equilateral triangles, where all sides are the same length, we can simplify our work using P equals 3 times the side length. This concept is essential in many real-world scenarios as well. For example, when constructing triangular structures such as roofs or decorative pieces, knowing the perimeter helps in estimating the materials needed. And then let's not forget about regular polygons. A regular polygon is a shape with all sides of equal length and all angles equal. To find its perimeter, we can use the formula P equals N times S, where N stands for the number of sides, and S is the side length. For instance, if we take a regular pentagon, which has 5 sides, and each side measures 6 centimeters, we multiply 5 times 6 to get a perimeter of 30 centimeters. Polygons are fascinating as they appear in many aspects of nature and design, from stop signs that are octagons to honeycomb cells that are hexagons. An interesting tidbit, the regular hexagon is actually the most efficient shape for covering a surface with equal-sized shapes, which is precisely why bees prefer it for their honeycombs. And now, let's discuss circles. The perimeter of a circle is called its circumference. This is calculated using the formula C equals pi d, or alternatively C equals 2 pi r, where d is the diameter and r is the radius. Suppose we have a circle with a radius of 5 centimeters. By applying our formula, we find that the circumference is approximately 31.4 centimeters. The concept of circumference is vital in geometry, helping us measure round objects accurately. A fun fact about the word circumference is that it originates from Latin, where circum means around, and fere means to carry, so it literally translates to carry around, and it's important to differentiate between perimeter and area. While perimeter measures the distance around the shape in linear units, area quantifies the space inside the shape in square units. Picture this: the perimeter is like knowing how much fence you need for a garden, while area tells you how much grass seed you'd need to fill it. What's interesting is that two different shapes can have the same perimeter but vastly different areas, and this applies in the opposite direction too. And understanding perimeter plays a crucial role in real life. Take construction, for instance. Workers need to know the perimeter of rooms to install things like baseboards and crown molding accurately. Landscapers measure perimeters to plan out fencing, gardens, and walkways. In sports, the perimeter of a field is essential for painting boundary lines. Even in our daily lives, measuring the perimeter of picture frames or the borders of rugs uses the same concepts. Here's a fun fact: the Great Wall of China serves as a real-world example of perimeter on a massive scale. It stretches approximately 21,196 kilometers in total length. And then lastly, let's touch on composite shapes. A composite shape is made up of two or more simple shapes, such as rectangles, triangles, and circles. To determine the perimeter of a composite shape, we must add up the lengths of all its outer sides, ensuring not to include interior lines that don't contribute to the outer boundary. For example, consider an L-shaped figure composed of two rectangles. To find the perimeter, we carefully account for all the outer edges. Understanding how to calculate the perimeter of composite shapes is a vital skill in fields like architecture and city planning, providing practical applications in the real world. And in summary, grasping the concepts of perimeter is not only important in mathematics but also in everyday life. It empowers us to measure boundaries and efficiently plan for materials in various scenarios, from home improvement projects to outdoor planning. As a foundational mathematics skill, it sets the stage for understanding more complex concepts like area and volume. But remember, perimeter is everywhere, helping inform our decisions about space, materials, and designs in various fields like engineering and environmental science. Fun fact to consider: the perimeter of Earth along the equator is approximately 40,075 kilometers, a measurement that has been acknowledged with reasonable accuracy for over 2,000 years. To wrap up what we've learned today, perimeter is the measurement around the outside of various shapes, from rectangles to circles, and even complex composite figures. We explored how to calculate the perimeter of different shapes, including rectangles, squares, triangles, regular polygons, and circles. Each of these calculations connects to real-life applications, highlighting why understanding perimeter is essential not just in math class, but in many everyday situations. Remember that perimeter helps us determine how much fencing we need or how materials should be planned in construction and design. This foundational skill opens doors to further learning about area and volume, crucial concepts in mathematics. Thank you for joining us on this educational journey into the world of perimeter. We hope you found today's episode engaging and informative. Don't forget to subscribe to Spelling Bee Ninja for more exciting lessons that make learning enjoyable. Together, we are creating a community that values knowledge and curiosity. Catch you in the next episode where we'll explore more fascinating topics in math and beyond.